It was good. What's good? What's good? We in the building. We good. I'm still in. Still here. See if Star get on or not. It's all good. I've seen some interesting battles. Interesting. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yo. Seen a few interesting battles. We could talk about that shit. I mean, my boy was just talking about the fact that on that 110 deep, that it was a lot of motherfuckers on there that had that had just so many crazy verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to decide who had the best one on the track. Been trying to for a minute. Maybe. I can't really tell. I'm thinking, to me, Ghostface had one of the best verses on that. I don't know if it's the one that when he was Tony Stark's, or if it's him appearing as Ghostface. Hard to decide. Peace. It's hard to decide. But yo, shout out Open Season. They got a battle coming up. Clash of the Champions. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna be there for that. Who's supposed to be in that? It's supposed to be 93rd, Conquest, Risk God. Who else? Oh, I'm forgetting. Don't know why. Tied up. So it should be pretty good. I'm getting hit up by a few other MCs that we gonna tap in with. I'm gonna tap in with Flawless pretty soon. We're supposed to be going on live tonight, but we had some technical difficulties, so we had to change up and reschedule. So we're gonna talk battle rap. We're gonna talk about making music, all that good shit. But yeah, if you just come in here, I'm Samson. What's your life like, family? What's your life like? And yo, I don't know if y'all getting ready for it, but I'm getting ready for it. That fucking Max Out 2, shit's gonna be crazy. Shit's gonna be crazy. I'm waiting for that one. Just got through seeing the West Coast Elites dropped the RX versus Shuni battle. That was a solid battle. I checked it out last night. As soon as it dropped, basically, I checked it out. And then I analyzed it a little bit. To me, when I first started looking at it, I was like, okay, RX got it 3-0. And I started thinking about it. I was like, Shuni almost? Nah, RX 3-0. It was rounds where she could have came through and won, but it just wasn't enough for RX. She too bar heavy. The West Coast runs battle rap. The West Coast is running rap. Just what it's been like for a long time. Dominating. But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people, they might say different, you know, like, because basically, okay, when you think about this, a lot of the strong West Coast artists, the motherfuckers we'll call strong West Coast artists, they came from somewhere else, and then they came out here, and then they got established. Like Corrupt. Corrupt is from Philly. So, you know, a lot of people label him a West Coast artist. But technically, I would say, like, he's a East Coast artist that came over to the West, and he's playing on the West side now. You know what I'm saying? So it's that kind of thing. And then when you have MCs that come from another place, and then they come over here, they add a different element to it. But J.O. Felony, that's a West Coast artist that a lot of people sleep on and shit, you know? Yo, that's crazy. See? Shout out to Star. You know, he's definitely one of the best MCs. Like, if you think about it, a lot of dope-ass MCs come from Philly. Black Thought, that's one of my favorite MCs. That nigga, he said on the Freddie Gibbs track, he was like, look, this is New Morocco. He is dropping some science on motherfuckers that's too deep. When he said that on Education, you gotta look it up if you ain't seen that shit. So the song is called Education with Freddie Gibbs. Shout out to Gary, Indiana, nigga, come on. Yo, Freddie Gibbs killed it. Mos Def or Yasin Bey killed it. East Coast, you know what I'm saying? That's another, to me, he's one of the top. Nobody is taking on Mos Def's challenge. He was like, look, I'm putting money on the table, ain't nobody gonna beat me. I don't think anybody will beat him. But back to the song. The song Education, it's on Freddie Gibbs' album. That whole album is just banging. I've been banging that album for like the whole season. Freddie Gibbs, I've been fucking with Freddie Gibbs since he started a long ass time ago. And it's cool to see that he's getting on. Like, he's really getting on. And people are starting to know him, you know. Right on. Shit, man, you know, Benny Siegel, that dude's a beast too. You know, I grew up on West Coast music, East, all that, every region, right? I love Outkast. Outkast, hands down, is one of my favorite groups. So, when I look at it, there's tracks that I've seen a lot of different artists jump on. So, say you got Cypress Hill jump on the track with Outkast. Then you got Tash from the Alcoholics. The whole Alcoholics crew jump on there. There's so many MCs that, you know, they make it fun as far as listening to all this shit. So that's why I'm glad that K Slay came out with that motherfucking track. With all the tracks. Shaq spit some hard shit. Omar Epps, I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Really? I'm looking at Omar Epps spitting some shit. Like, yo, Compton's Most Wanted. Like, shit. Eazy-E and everybody. You know, I was fucking with 8 until a certain point. Keep it real with you. Until I had a battle. And then things kind of went a little different. So I was like, all right, you don't like me. It's all good. It's all good. But it felt like it was a little tainted. You know, it wasn't a fair situation, but it's cool. You know, like a lot of the time I've learned it's a lot of allegiances in rap, and that's what we've been uncovering too with the whole bar thing. Like motherfuckers are getting into groups, they get their notepads, they start writing and shit. Always got a pad. Real writer always keep a pad with you. Yo, they always are just sitting there coming with something, right? That's not fair. I like motherfuckers that's coming mano a mano. You come to battle me, you bringing your shit. You know, you load up your gun. You know what I mean? You bring your ammunition. Don't bring somebody else's bars to our situation, you know? Yo, what's good, Hayes? Fucks with Hayes. Hayes got some good ass music. Motherfuckers need to follow Hayes. Yo, he's been fucking with the arts for a long time. We post this shit. Hayes has been out here working, you know. But let me get back to some shit because a nigga just thought about something right now. I was talking about the battle, and then I went to something else. So, I'm gonna take you back. Like I said, I feel like in the battle with RX and Shuni had some shit. Heavy shit. It was some shit that I was like, nah, you know, hold up. That ain't right, that ain't true, or whatever. Or some shit didn't land. And X just went to a different level of shit. Like, she speaks intelligently to these females. Like, yo, like some females that got these thought bars, and she comes with thought bars. That's why I like her. Okay? It ain't even about the looks and none of that shit. Like straight up. Real shit. She's spitting some crazy different shit. And the best line I think that Shuni had that sticks in my mind is when she was like, yo, like something about a body, and then she said, are you still a 9 in the face? That was solid. Like, Shuni came with some solid punches. It just didn't feel like enough to beat her. Also got hit up about Chef Trez is going to be battling somebody. It's going to be interesting. I forgot about dude that he's battling. That's okay. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go back on that and get the information on that shit. But, yo, let me tell everybody just in there watching it live, you MCs, drop a verse, spit something to a beat. We be having a contest going on, and, you know, it's all good. We're going to figure out who's the best in certain situations, you know. Then you'll end up going to another part of the battle situation, so to speak. So, tap in with us. I can only say so much. Stay tuned. And just keep it, you know, locked. Sup, Mike? What's good with you, man? You want to come in the live? You can come in the live. You can request it. I've been trying to talk to Mike for a minute. And Hayes. Like, so either one of y'all, bro, y'all want to tap in, you're more than welcome, you know? We got Mike. Mike.
All right, Brody.
Good? You there?
Yeah.
What's good with you, fam? How you doing?
Shit. By the computer, just cooking up some shit.
Right on.
As
Right
always.
On. Right on. Yo, we've been fucking with this dude since like a few albums, man. Like he had he dropped the Love Sick, that was pretty dope, you know.
Yeah.
Tell them about the new shit you got, man.
I got a lot of new shit. I got Lamborghini Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. I got a single with the homie Donnie G next. I mean, coming out this month.
Okay. That's what's up.
A lot of other shit.
Shoot that to me. I got to check it out. Definitely. Um, yeah, man. Shit.
Hmm.
You know. Um, how long you been out here doing music, bro?
Shit, for like a long ass time. Since like the first time I did my first mixtape was back in 2000 and 2002. Cause I still have the old my old rhyme book, and I used to record with the homie Minus One on the beat. He used to always produce shit. We used to go over his grandma's house and just record all the time. We was like ahead of our time with shit because like the song Geeked Up. I remember like back in '06, he had a song called Geeked, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Then all of a sudden, everyone's saying Geeked Up because when you making something, you not knowing people are watching. You know what I mean? So when I see
Right.
people and it's funny how they do it. Like when you do something that's unique and shit, they call it trash, right? And all of a
Right.
sudden, everybody doing it. I'm like, hold up, y'all
Right.
didn't like it at first.
Right.
Yeah,
And they put a remix on it or some shit like that. Or they take it and put a little different spice to your shit. And I went through that before.
yeah.
I understand that totally. I've been uh, artist, a host for a long time, so I know how it is on all sides of the game, like straight up. Like,
Yeah, that's why the kids just always move forward. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm always doing. That's why I like producing my own shit because I'm always, looking for different sounds. I don't mind like feeling like with the pop shit because I didn't notice this because like with me, I'm always like, I don't mind doing like trap. The first time I ever did like a trap song was back in 2016 on one of my mixtapes, like in October. It's like near like the Dot Piff era. And that's like the first time I ever used a trap beat. So I don't mind making like songs like that. It's just that I hate when people make it like a requirement. You know what I
well,
mean?
the point is like in hip hop, it's kind of a requirement because like the fans seem to have made it a requirement.
Yeah. And that's the thing because like I have songs, right, with industry, because I have lots of producers like with industry beats, industry hooks. I noticed that's my thing. Because I remember I would make a song with an industry beat, industry hook, and I'm just rapping to it. And everybody like, that's the one. Like my song Feel New, I got to send it to you. Every fucking body likes that song. Everybody. I'm like, because the hook is so catchy. It's like on some summertime shit. And like,
Right,
I notice every fucking time when I'm rapping over a beat with a catchy hook, that's the one. I'm like, all right, cool. But like, I be thinking, would you get tired of me doing that? Because I want to be put like in a box where that's all I can do. I mean, when I made the song "Calm Down," no, not I mean, "Slow Down." I produced that shit, shot, and I started to just be like, oh, okay, love song. And most of the time, I make love songs is to my wife. It's just multiple ways of doing it.
right.
So yeah,
Yo, that's something good to tap into right now because that talks about where you're creating your songs from, where the thought is to create the song,
yeah,
and then how you remix or revamp that idea. You know what I
mm,
mean? And also on another side of it, it also keeps your relationship kind of fresh.
yeah,
It's another way of being poetic in a newer way.
yeah. And she loved the fact I make music. It's now we having a baby now. We having like a girl. I made a song called "Lyrics to My Unborn." Now this is before I had the kid, so it was for like if I had a son. So now I gotta have a daughter. I'm like, I'm gonna make a song dedicated to my daughter. I just got
Hmm.
like a vibe to it. But like when I made the song Letter to My Unborn, it was like if I had a son. So I'm like, you know what? Let me keep that because you never know. Someone gonna probably have a son and relate to it. I'm all about making relatable music. And I'm trying that's the other because I grew up in the area you have to make that kind of shit. So and there's sometimes I'll do something completely left and make some left shit just for the fuck of it.
Right. Well, right now, a lot of people making shit that doesn't seem that relatable to, it doesn't have that much substance as far as like you're saying, it doesn't have that feel to it to where
Mm-hmm.
some people can relate. And it's something that they relate on a
Some level.
surface of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the hook, you know what I mean, but they don't relate to it as far as in a deeper sense of investing in the song to where like Mary J. Blige and Method Man, you're all I need.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure that somebody's wedding song, right?
Somebody relates to that shit.
Somebody's wedding song because they're relating to that shit so deeply,
Yeah.
right?
And
I
that's what
relate to it deeply,
yeah,
you know?
and that's why we fuck that's why I fuck with Tupac a lot. Cause I remember growing up, I used to watch Tupac from Digital Underground on. So
Right.
I grew up around that shit. So I'm used to making songs like that. But I think like what my flaws was when I first was doing it, because I was signed at one point and I was like I used to have an issue, I used to rap off beat a lot. And then I started like developing it. And I started thinking like, okay, even in my mixtapes, I was trying to figure out, damn, like I'm over here with 35 mixtapes. I would just record a lot. So I'm like, all right, man, like what is my message? And the message is always the shit that's repetitive because it's like you keep saying it like this is it. Like I'm always like I'm all about being yourself, not trying to be like everybody else. I'm like, that's my thing because I say it so fucking much. And then if I'm talking about just braggadocio rap shit, then that's easy for me to do because it's easy to just make a song talking about how dope you are. And then
Right.
substance, there's sometimes I have to get like influenced by something. Like I made a whole song talking about fucking anime girls, like real talk, just because I wanted to. Because there's sometimes I'll just come up with some crazy. I made like songs about being an anime character, all kind of shit, because I can do it. You know, I'm underground. I can do whatever I
You
want.
know, it's
Because
relatable, you
yeah,
know, it's relatable to somebody, it's relatable to you. And as far as being an underground artist, you know, we do go out of the box. We're not in like the label box to where
exactly.
somebody can say, hey, that's not going to be something I can market.
And I hate that shit. I really hate that shit because the shit that they market is never what you want. And this is
Well,
why a lot of artists get fucked over. Because that's how Mike Jones got fucked over. Because you know that song he had with T Pain, that came out later. That's what come out for his second album. Because labels always fuck it up like that. And that's why I can't. Like I was signed to a label. I had a good time with it. It's just that, like, I don't mind if you telling me, okay, this dude is out. So we're gonna have you have this person go up. So I'm like, I don't mind that. I'm in the studio recording. By the time you tell me, okay, Mike, you're up next, I already got like 7 albums ready to go. Just pick. It's just that, I like to move at my own pace, and put out whatever I want to.
that leads me to my next question. And I've been thinking about this question as we've been talking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as being on your own pace,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like the way that the game is now is making an artist have to go at a faster pace to be relevant as far as making their music and releasing music. Because there's a lot of music that comes out, like artists are dropping music all the time. Like
Yeah.
before, an artist would have 5 years, 4 years, 3 years off at least to be able to marinate on life and then be able to create some music.
Yeah, that's a weird thing because like when you're underground, like you got to do it because no one doesn't know you. So it's like if I was major, like to a point I'm established and people like really feeling for me, I'd be like, if I got a following that's like really like, okay, we can wait for Mike, that's cool. I'd be like, all right, great. I already be in the studio with like 7 albums ready to go. But since I'm so used to putting out a lot of music, this all stems from the mixtape era. Because like after I was dropped from the label, I was like, fuck, what I'm gonna do? Because I would find out any way to record. I used to record music on a iPod Touch with the YouTube, beats loud, putting out multiple mixtapes just because I wanted to. And then when I transitioned to, putting music out, through DistroKid, whatever, I just gave myself the opportunity to put out my most wackiest shit. And I know it can hurt me because someone might listen to that shit and think it's whack. But the only reason why I'm doing that is because I want to grow so I can go back and say, don't do what you did. Like, just keep going up because it's like no one, because when you underrated, got to keep putting it out there. So now I just have songs in the vote and just retouch them. So I put them into SoundCloud. Now listen to them. If it's dope, I'll just retweak them. And then I'll put it on Slap where people will just say, okay, this goes. I'm like, all right, go. So then I'll put them out. So now it's more of a structure than just putting it out there.
So
So
as far as being an underground artist, you've taken the, let's say, initiative to say, okay, I'm gonna act like a label,
hmm
and I'm gonna plot and plan my releases this way, and I'm
yeah,
gonna get a crowd response before I even go out and put it fully out. That's
yeah,
what you're saying,
yeah,
you know?
because and sometimes, man, I hate it, but I need it because every time I want a song so bad, but they're like, no, that's not it. I'm like, fuck. All
Well,
right,
see,
now.
as an underground artist, you have that choice, right?
Yeah.
And like we can do all this different stuff, and we put out all these different things. So I've done the same test.
Mhm.
I've put out the underground music
Mhm.
that I have, right? And I see how that is because I also want to give people a chance to see the growth. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not gonna keep anybody as far as what I've done.
Mhm.
And it would keep me as an artist to not put those out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really.
Mhm.
You you don't put out, even if it sounded kind of whack as far as a sound. It wasn't like the red tape, the radio ready
Yeah.
sound.
Mhm.
You can still put it out, and it still can be something that's relevant or something that you know people like.
Yeah.
And that's the fact of underground shit. You know what I mean? And then when you're labeled that way, you kind of get a different thought
Yeah.
as a listener.
Mhm.
Okay, it's different. This is underground, right? This is not that commercial shit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get really that grimy, like, that's how we heard Wu-Tang because it
Exactly.
was on the 4 track, putting that shit out on not digital, but analog.
Yeah. And now with technology, I couldn't make my vocals sound like that. But then nowadays, you got these what we call mixed Nazi motherfuckers that be like, man, your mixing sound fucked up, but it's meant to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm dropping some poppy shit, I already know that's what people want to hear. It's just that even though I don't fucking like it, but I understand why. So like for example, I have an album, and now this new thing is dropping EPs, right? Because I have an album called "Who Wants a Hug." It's like me just making some random shit just because it's just random, just raw random shit. So I have to break that shit down in 2 parts. So how I did it was okay. Okay, EP 1 is "Who Wants a Hug," which just makes like raw crazy shit, and
Mhm.
then I say so. The other one started be is more like more realistic shit, more like deep thought. So I said, okay, who wants a hug? I do. So hence the Who Wants a Hug? I Do EP together. I know it's weird, but it's like, so now
No,
that
really.
part is kind of like more, for people who want to hear like more serious shit. And then the other one is more rapidy rap shit. And then if I
Right.
want to make some like industry pop shit, try the singles because it's more easier. And then I'm dropping this mixtape called Born to Music 3, which is like a ending chapter of my old mixtape. So all I'm doing is just going back to the boom bappy sound.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It question. So you taking it back to the boom bap.
I mean, I never really left it. It's just that it's just more like,
Evolve.
more deeper than what I usually would make. Usually it'll be like with the Los Santos EP. I mean, it's like with those tapes, they're just like old like songs I had. When Corona was big, it's a bunch of like songs. So, just like I'll have some lyrical shit here, some boppy shit here, and just put it all together. Well, this is just strictly like some boom bappy shit with a little touch of pop.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. That shit is still real. That's
Mhm.
still big. It's kind of, as far as being an artist, it's fucked up a lot of people, but it's also made other situations come for artists to be able to be noticed and to
Mhm.
grow and all that stuff. How has Corona affected you being an
Mhm.
artist this past year and 6 months?
I mean, I know because I've been watching how the game is, studying, and I remember like people would compare me because I even though I don't like comparisons, people will always like I feel like no one couldn't compare me to nobody. So I remember someone compared me to Mick Jenkins. You know who Mick Jenkins is, right? He sound like Tyler the Creator almost. I'm like, that's weird. Y'all compare to Mick Jenkins. I've been compared to Kendrick. I'm like, because there's sometimes I do change my inflection sometimes. But how the game is now is like, you know, you have to sound almost like somebody. Because I've seen people who sound like Kendrick to a T. And people are like, yo, this dude is up next. I'm like, this dude sound like Kendrick. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And so when it's like me being me, it's like, why do you sound like that? It's like, I'm sounding like myself, you know? I mean, I can't give you Kendrick. You want Kendrick, listen to Kendrick. You know, I want to like, you know, it's more of just having your own thing. When I start seeing that in the game, I start seeing like a lot of other shit. You know, some shit is cool, but some of shit is just like, I just hate when it's like we have cats trying to act like A&Rs and trying to tell you what you should do or how you should sound. And I remember Russ said some shit. This some real shit, and I want to keep it. It's like the day you start letting people tell you how to make your music, it's kind of like you a vending machine with a whole bunch of random ass buttons. And everyone, and then it's like you don't know who you are. It's like, okay, you want some pop shit, press the button. You know what I mean? But it's like you don't want to do that because you'd be so. It's like you don't know who you are, and you get so lost in that shit. And that's why I keep it underground. Because if I was mainstream, that'd make a whole bunch of shit. Like he should make more songs like this. He should make more songs like this. I'm like, can't keep giving you that.
Well, you could. I mean, it's not um just put in the box. I would say that if you feel like you want to explore different artistic sides of music, you know, freedom of choice, that's what you should be able to do. You know?
Yeah. It's just
So
that the demand for the same shit. I mean, because keep in mind, like, everyone is open to, like, everything. Like, there's 1.1 billion people in the world. You can't be like, everyone's going to think it's trash. You know what I'm saying? I got songs that are old as fuck where the mixing is shitty, bro. I'm talking about on my old shitty mic. Like, I'm on, like, I had, like, a snowball mic. This makes my vocals sound better. I have songs that are like shitty mixed, and they're on people's personal playlists. I'm like, y'all.
let me give you a key of advice with that. Those songs, you need to take those songs and re-record them.
Yeah.
And like even do those live. Live, you know what I mean? Even if you do a live, you know, from home quarantined or from a sound stage, you know, you can make, and you can also take that recording and put that out too.
Yeah, because I think I did it before. I did it with a song called Shadow, what's it called? Sand Burial Jitsu. I don't know how to name my shit, random shit. And then the mixing was just like, I guess the mixing was fucked up, but I kept the old rhyme book where I wrote the verse. So I said, all right, let's redo it. And I kept the beat. So I kind of did it in the exact same energy. I was like, all right, that's a go. I put that shit on SoundCloud. That shit hit like 398 plays. And I'm like, all right, let's do that. I mean, yeah, because I don't mind remaking songs. Because there's sometimes I would hear something, I'd be like, I should remake that. But that's only if I can find the, you know, the rhyme. But sometimes I write rhymes in my head. That's why the freestyles be sound how they sound. So I write my rhymes like 4 different ways. I can punch in shit. That's only if I'm scatting different flows. Because there's sometimes that's where all the different flow switches come in. Because I would just scat like different little flows here. And then if I like how it sounds, I'm like, all right, I'll do this part. Then I'll punch in this part. Then there's sometimes if the beat is just, you know, 2 minutes, something long, I'll just freestyle the whole shit, hook everything. And if I really want to be like technical with the pen, I'll just, you know, and the pen is just like, it's a whole lot of editing. Like there's sometimes like and the more I write, I know I over rhyme a lot because in my mind it's like it's super lyrical, but the shit doesn't flow right. You know what I mean? So like if I'm rapping a whole bunch of like 3-syllable rhymes and all this shit, because I'm trying to like over rap everything, then the shit don't flow right. So I just let me take this shit out. Let me take this shit out.
Right.
Take this shit out, and then read it. So, you know,
we don't want to strip it all the way down to where you don't have the essence of what you wrote, and the writer's voice that you have,
Yeah.
because every artist has their own writer's voice, right? So, like, say when I would listen to Freeway,
Mhm.
I would totally say like, okay, he's off beat, but he's doing it on purpose. The
Yeah.
way that he delivers his like I think his fourth or his second bars sometimes it's a little off.
Yeah.
It doesn't land the same way that everybody else as an MC would do it. The
Yeah.
same thing going on right now with the game. Like so you got rappers out there that are spitting shit and we would call some of it poppy.
Hmm.
Uh, what they're doing is they got these punches. They go da 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 da
Oh yeah, like that shit. But see,
da 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 punch.
yeah, that shit. But
You know,
see,
so that's the pattern that people, the fans like because that's the beat vibration and the wave that they are fucking with. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like you said earlier, the beats is what matters. So how you ride the beat is what matters too. But to bring your own style to it is the whole task as far as us being a writer or MC.
yeah. Cause me, I write the drums. I would write the drums. Like I have a song called "Fly Shit." It's not where the drum is. And I'm like, see me with aliens, moon, walking on Venus, and I'm like really riding the fuck out that drum, like so hard. Where sometimes I would read, and I like how I wrote it so perfectly. I would mostly just replay it back and forth. I like how I wrote the drums, so like I will always write the drums. Like if there's like gaps in between, I will add most people like other syllables, but it's all about writing the drums and all that shit. That's how the cadence is. That's how I figure out like how many syllables I should add and shit.
Mm.
Now, the other thing people do is they sing and shit, being melodic and shit. Like I personally, I can't sing for shit. I don't like singing, but like they make it like a requirement, like all rappers should sing good. My nigga Biz Markie. And I pray for Biz Markie. This dude came out a song called Just a Friend and sung off key. And that was his biggest hit. So I'm like, dog, I mean, we not singers, man. We rappers. We sing just because. But I mean, we ain't all Drake. But it's like,
But even Drake has an auto tune
yeah. I
and
tried the auto
everything.
tune shit. It doesn't work for me.
It depends on which one you use. There's a lot of different ways of using it.
I mean, there's a
It's a
way,
little.
yeah. Like I have it's a thing called a pitcher. That's what it's called. And what I would do is, because what people don't know, I do use the auto tune, but it's the pitcher part where it's on medium, so you don't hear the pitching. So it goes from like -1 or 20. Like it's always in 20. Because if it's over that, then it's like two. It's not natural. So if it's -20, it makes my voice more, deeper. If it's 20, it's more height. That's only when I'm doing the hook. Is when I crank the shit to like the 40, because the hook has to be, uppity.
Do you produce any tracks for anybody else?
No,
Have you ever thought about it?
I mean I thought about it, but the reason why I even make beats is not for other people. Is because the fact that people give me beats and they all sound like everybody else's shit. So they
Right.
don't capture what I want, because, and first of all, I get like beats. They're like beat packs, like unlimited leased beats. And mind you, these are some dope ass producers. They make like industry beats, and that's in the pocket. So it's like having my own sound is more easier, because I can be like, I can make a song. Hey, I can go on Splice, take a psychedelic guitar and add some boom bappy drums to it, and have my own sound. Nobody's not thinking like that. Everyone's trying to follow waves. I'm like, I might as well just make my own shit. Because even if
Mm-hmm.
I did sell a beat to somebody, like, I want a beat like this. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll rap on it.
I mean, I'm just saying because as far as production, I'm a producer too.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done it and I've sold some beats. I've done, you could do it. There's motherfuckers out there that's on my shit. I've given out free beat tapes and all that kind of shit too. And, like that shit's still up on that piff right now, still we're still generating it because I give, for it's for hip hop basically. I got love for this shit. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
probably.
there's an artist somewhere that ain't got this shit that can't do it. So here you go. boom, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't want to see nothing back. I just wanted the credit. You know, there's a lot of artists that don't look at it that way. But with the game being so big right now,
Mhm.
like we need to be able to eat successfully off of what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what these
So
little streaming sites are for. You know, like DistroKid. Remember back, like they can do splits and shit. So that's the easiness. You know, that's what I
so
like about it.
how do you feel about the distribution situation from 2002 up till now?
Shit, I wish that shit. I wish that shit was around when I was younger.
I
Cause
feel
think
you.
about it, if I was able to put my music in stores, the same stores that Beyonce's in, if I was younger, that'd been dope as fuck. I would have probably blew up at that time because during that time I was like, especially around 2008, like the backpacker era. If someone would have told me, "Yo, there's this thing called DistroKid. You can put your music out there in stores." I would have got
Hmm.
me a job, you know, got me a DOS, and just like fucking shit up. I
Right.
mean, it's not bad. It's more. It's gonna keep getting more convenient. You know, it's like as time goes on, it makes it easier to be in stores and shit. So I remember the first time I did it, I was like stuck. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Spotify. Oh shit, I'm on iTunes. You know what I mean? I just to see me on iTunes, I'm like, shit. You know, I thought that was major label shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't quote me on it. I think back in like 2004, some shit like that, I ended up I put tracks out, right? And it was the first place that they had was Amazon. Amazon, um, we had Napster, we had
yeah. They still got that shit, Napster.
yeah, they had to put that shit because they had a whole little issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's another reason why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give out this free music because hey, that was another way to get your shit out there. And I'm not gonna front. I've downloaded some shit from Napster before,
trust me.
so I was like, hey, all
Pirate
right,
Bays and shit.
free
Yeah,
music. Let me balance.
yeah.
You
Burn
know,
those CDs and shit. I
yeah,
still got them.
right. You know, but it was the only way we could sit there and find things. But then they took that idea and then put it under a different umbrella, and basically now we're looking at a different distribution monopoly almost.
Yeah,
Almost. If you look at the situation, there's only so many places that you can go and put your music out,
yeah,
which is cool. But then again, it's not that damn cool. Like because I remember back then, there was only so many places for us to put our music out.
hmm
Napster, if we wanted to, just have motherfuckers just hit it up. Um, MySpace, Black Planet, um, a lot of different. What was it? I mean,
yeah. I remember that.
remember that?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? When they first started putting apps together in 2006,
Oh
I
yeah, I
had
remember that.
band app.
hmm
You know what I mean? And that was a different kind of app to where you could put all your shit on the app. You had your own thing. You send them the link, band app, and then they would go to your profile on that app.
I wish I had that shit back in the day. I was sleeping on that.
Now they got it, and then they revised all those different ideas.
hmm
So it was, and then what like you're doing now, putting out music again
hmm
to a better distribution system.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it
then you
should.
got, the splits and all that. And then the option to add it into more stores. I mean, I think they got this thing where you can also do it the same way. We just upload it, but you can put like physical copies. Because for the Born Some Music, it's just gonna be on .piff because my is a mixtape slash it. So I'm gonna try to do this thing where I can like do it where I can like put the music up there and just put it out there in the store. That's what I really wish is get like a distribution thing or a add on where I can like put physical copies in the stores.
Do you have Bandcamp?
Got that?
You have Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Shout out your Bandcamp. Shout it out.
Shout out to Bandcamp, Mike Senze, Bandcamp, everywhere. So Bandcamp is different
They
because
can buy a physical copy from your Bandcamp.
Mhm.
They can buy a physical copy of your CD from Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And they can also get, merch if you set up your merch store.
Yeah.
They can get some stuff there too,
Yeah. I got to set up my merch. I have a merch store. I got to set it up and get the physicals out there. It's different because with Bandcamp, I can put up it's like my most lyrical shit people like on Bandcamp. I have a song called Restless, no, Ruthless, and it features Planet Asia. And everyone fuck with it. So that's why I say to myself, okay, how I'm gonna market is that since I noticed that these type of songs get hit, we put the lyrical shit on Bandcamp, and then any other store pop shit, just to spread everything.
Right. I feel you to give a different side of what, Mike is bringing.
Yeah.
I totally feel you on that.
Mm.
What I would do is, like you're saying, just keep that strategy of things going and keep working those different avenues as far as strategy.
And you got to be innovative with them strategies, boy, because like with these marketing strategies, they be pulling up the same strategies. I'm like, even with branding, it's not that hard to brand yourself in music, man. Like brand is who you are. Like when I post up my pictures and shit, like I was on Instagram before it blew up. So like I would just post up pictures and shit and didn't know nothing about marketing or anything. I just started making up shit. Like I remember when Instagram music first came out. When you put your music on Instagram and shit. I remember when I came out, I knew that shit was gonna be huge. So I had a song, and I remember I promoted it. So I was one of the few to jump on that shit. So it was mostly about just looking at what's going on and just capitalizing. Like when I would freestyle on IG, I noticed every time I would hit that algorithm every fucking time. Like it's like, Instagram's like, yo, people should just hear this. That's why I keep freestyling. So I said, all right, then that's my thing. And so when they started doing the reels, which is kind of like TikTok, and then now you got producers coming in doing the whole, hey, rap, let's do a duet. Like I've been posting up. Because I never was on TikTok. I thought TikTok was just stupid. But when they started, doing the duets and shit, where you can just, hey, producer, hey, and I'm just hopping on their shit, duetting with them. So I said, okay.
That's a new way of doing mixtapes real quick or dropping something real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like he just said, he gets on the beat, he drops a verse on the beat. Please drop a verse on the beat, send us that verse so we could put you in our contest.
All right, I got it. I do it all the time. I do it all the time, man.
And you invited to get into the other battle stuff that we got going on as far as freestyle battles. We gotta have producer battles, freestyle battles. We'll have a written battle. You know what I mean? Because that is part of the game right now. So we want to bring all elements of hip hop together.
Cool. It's weird people think writtens, because writtens are, I remember back in the days, I remember I was on copyrights, copywriters, right? Copyright Metahertz. I was on his podcast. I remember he said back in like the late 90s, what rappers would do is to remember their verses, they would battle people rapping their written verses. So I find it funny how people be like, y'all using written rhymes. I'm like, that's like an old school way of rapping. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you first started rapping, you just go, with me, it was backwards because I never wrote. I just freestyled. And I remember I was seeing my cousin write. I'm like, what's that, homework? And I'm like, no, that's me writing rhymes. I'm like, so writing kind of structures you to write. Like when I freestyle, it sounds like it's written. It's because I structured my mind to rap like it's written when it's not. Like the Jay-Z shit, basically.
Exactly.
So, it always starts with writing first,
Exactly. In the craft of it and being able to keep up with things, and it's practicing that. Like I remember sparring with a lot of my homies, just freestyling, doing different shit. Like we would kick the writtens though, we would kick real freestyles. Like we know we writing around each other and we we do songs with each other. So we like, yo, like I know you just spit that on the damn song. Like you can't come with that. You know, got somebody that'll call you out on it.
Yeah.
Now it's nobody to call these dudes out. Like, oh no,
Now
you ain't.
it's no rules. Even when Big L was, when I remember I seen like a Big L freestyle, his homie was repeating everything he was saying. So I'm like, yeah, that's been there, but it's just like now it's like nowadays you see motherfuckers like they cell phones, they doing like the Drake move and shit and writing raps off their phones and shit. I'm like,
Right.
what kind of shit is this? I mean, granted, but you get kind of points knocked off for that because it's like, that's kind of like how Cannabis, pull out that notepad. And when he did that shit, I was like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like that, it's shocking.
But you opened up the question that I have on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the game they just letting everybody else get away with it? Like Drake can pull out his phone and be like, "Yo, hey, I'm freestyling in the booth." Clearly, we see you.
Not just him. I seen Benny the Butcher do that shit. Not fucking the Butcher. It's because it's favoritism. To be honest with you, like certain artists can do, some artists can't. But I can't picture myself doing that shit. If I'm on the microphone, I'm like, I'm not gonna pull out my phone and rap off my phone because most of the times it's just free verses that I put on for songs. So it's like, and I know some artists they'll rap like their verse to kind of on a freestyle to remember the song, and I get it. But I'm like, won't be the point of doing that. How I would do it, I would just listen to my song multiple times. I won't be like, I'm on Sway and just rap a whole verse, and then friends like, hey, that's the verse from so and so, so and so. Like,
right.
I like.
Well, let me put a plot twist, some perspective on this shit real quick, right? Mm-hmm. So Cannabis, supposedly, and I mean, he came looking hurt and shit too. Supposedly, he just got in a car accident. He bumped his head, all this other shit, right?
Oh, I know where you're going with that, and he couldn't remember it, so he had to write it. So
he was already in like
because he wasn't a slink.
Having to prepare it. Mm-hmm. He's so lyrical and so intricate about what the fuck he says that he breaks some shit down, magnificent a certain way or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
For him to be able to remember all that shit, he's got to do some extras. Now these other dudes. Mm-hmm. Go through no car accident the day before they come to the battle.
No.
They should have been fresh in their head, like, okay, well, this is what I gotta do. And then they come out with their phone. Mm-hmm. Like I said, right? People were giving Cannabis shit about pulling the shit out, which I understand, because I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? Yeah. But on the flip side, like you said, we got some favoritism going on where they'll let some of these dudes pull out their phone, some of these chicks pull out their phone. Yo, female rappers, you're not off the hook on that shit. Mm-hmm. They pull out their phone and they start going in the booth and they want to say, yo, I'm spitting the freestyle wherever on whoever else's show or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to make it look good. And then the person is not gonna call them out because they want to make the show look good, right? Yeah. They ain't gonna front on them and be like, "Yo, well, nah, that wasn't dope."
We know it's favoritism in rap. I mean, we already know that. Like even in independent radio scene, how like I see rapper A come out with some trap shit. Okay, then rapper B does it. Man, that shit whack, but he did the same shit. Like, what's the difference? But I think it's because how the internet is nowadays, man. No one don't want to be a meme the next day. So what they'll do is they'll be like, you know what, let me like say some shit off the phone and so say some shit like that. So I'm like, no one want like to get ripped apart online. So they'd be like, man, let me write some shit, let me rap on my phone real quick. But it's always favoritism.
That's true.
That's why I look at the mainstream. The mainstream to me is like high school. There's a bunch of cool kids. Bunch of stupid cool kids that don't know what the fuck they're doing. I was never the cool kid in high school, so I mean, it's like I was the kid that could have been cool, but chose not to be. Because, if I can't be myself, why would I want to be, in a group, it's like, you gotta watch what you say, you gotta like, nah, can't do that.
Well, you should feel like, I felt like being myself was cool enough. And, you know, what's cooler than being cool? I'm good. You know what I mean? I was cold. So, I, you know, I was a loner, but I wasn't. You know, everybody knew me.
Yes, I
So
was.
they, oh, that's the dude that did the show and all this other shit. You know, they knew me from being a rapper sometimes, or playing basketball, or
Mm-hmm.
just from nice dude that'd be like, yo, what up?
Mm-hmm.
You look like, you know, I look like I'm about to kill a motherfucker sometime.
That's how I was. So I'm
But
tall. They get
I try
intimidated.
not to. I try not to. I try to smile. I try to, you know, be a good guy.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like my boy Star said, you know, as far as these rappers doing that, I'm pulling out the notepad and shit. He said, I hate that shit. I said, I
Mm-hmm.
hate that shit too. But I
But
understand.
that shit was surreal as fuck, man. That shit
I'm
was
gonna be a
so
little
that shit
sympathetic.
was surreal as fuck. Because I thought it was a
Yo,
good battle, but then I'm like, now I know he fucked his arm up. I'm wondering like how he fucked his arm up. And so that shit was just so fucking surreal. Like everybody was talking about that shit. That's how big it was because everyone was talking about it. Like, you see how Cannabis put out that notepad? You see how I'm like, I'm looking at it like, is that true? I'm gonna keep watching it like I know I didn't see what I think I just saw. Because how lyrical Cannabis is. And this is
mm-hmm.
why I like he's beyond lyrical. Like I be thinking like he was gonna rip them apart, and I'm like, but they end up doing a song together, called Rap Buddies or something, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Let's get into that. So it's called Rap Buddies, right? So
I think it's called Battle Rap Buddies or something like that.
yeah, Battle Rap Buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you think about that? You think a lot of motherfuckers are battle rap buddies? I don't. I'm
You
not
mean
battle
like
rap.
they battling? They not like,
You
but
know,
they
we just
buddies.
fooling people, but we ain't split. You know, if we battling this shit. Oh, shout out to motherfucking Slim Goody Bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you need to get the goodie bag, please. That shit is dope.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the premier up and coming artists I've heard in a long
Yeah.
fucking time. In Long Beach, standing up with her. You know what I mean? Like straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Inglewood, you know, we got
Inglewood
y'all.
all day. You know.
You know, that's right here.
Inglewood all day. All day.
All day, all day.
So
Um,
when I moved from home, I came here to Inglewood.
hmm,
Like my mom is not that far from that front of the house. She's in Inglewood too. So,
well, yeah, man. I like Inglewood. I like a lot of cities out here.
Mm-hmm.
I do. You know, LA's a different and interesting place.
And the cool thing about California, there's a lot of, I've been here since for 32 years. There's lots of places in California I've never been. Like I live like next to the farm. I've never been to the farm. Like inside.
Wow. Oh, you got to go to the farm.
Because there's people, I don't know, I might get a J. Cole ticket. I don't know. Now, since everything's opening now, I might go in.
Just to go in there and experience the form itself,
Mm-hmm.
like that's the original place where Magic got the championship.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
I remember watching, like, the Lakers game. And let me tell you how I became a fucking Lakers fan, bro. When I was, like, back in 1990, 95. And my dad would sit here. And I'm watching him cheer on the yellow team. But I know the yellow team was the Lakers. So I'm like,
right?
oh, and since he liked the Lakers, I end up liking the Lakers. So I remember like that time when Kobe Bryant crossed over Michael Jordan. Remember that shit?
Yeah, I'm
Remember
a Bulls fan. That kind of hurt me,
that hurt?
but
We
I was
thought we thought
respecting
Michael
him.
Jordan because Michael Jordan was up here. So when Kobe
Yeah,
did, that's like, yeah,
yeah.
that we gonna watch out for him. And he
Mm.
became a Laker. And then I remember Shaq. He played for he played for the Suns at first. And I remember seeing Shaq. He played for the Suns. I didn't pay him no attention. And he played for the Magic. I'm like, oh, okay, he's cool. That's when Kazam and shit came out, and he started to rap. Now it's funny because we're not really seeing a lot of basketball players / rappers, and the only person that ever successfully did it was Shaq. I just do have
Success,
gold plaques.
successfully did it, but I can tell you, I went and I got an album back then. Right, it was
Mm-hmm.
called um, B-Ball's Best Kept Secret.
Mm-hmm.
On that album tape, I probably got the tape somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, They had Shaq. They had Jason Kidd.
Oh,
Jason Kidd was spitting bars, bro.
oh shit! I
Um,
gotta look that up.
yeah, it was a lot of NBA players back then spitting shit.
Yeah.
Um, talking about NBA players that spit shit. Let's talk about Shaq.
Hmm.
Ron Art.
Oh, I know Run Out Test Raps. He had a mixtape.
Have you heard that 110 deep?
I've never heard
K
that one
Slade.
yet, but I heard one song of his. I'm like, he's cool.
Hmm.
I
K
re-
Slade dropped some shit called 110 deep, and he got all 110 artists basically on that.
Damn, that was a
He
lot,
dropped.
a lot of calls, a lot of calls.
The track is like 40 minutes or something, dog.
Wait, that was like a one track.
Yeah.
A 40 motherfucker spitting. That's
They
crazy.
got the 40. They got one with 40 people spitting,
Hmm.
and they got one with 110 people spitting.
On one track.
One track.
That's crazy. I mean, I think like the longest posse cut I've ever heard was like 8 minutes.
Right.
That was on. I forgot what mixtape it was. 8 minutes. See, now we live in an era of short attention spans. We don't do that shit, which is
Right.
weird. Like, cause I don't. That's the one thing I don't like about it. Like how we used to have three verses. You know what I mean? Now it's just two verses, which is cool. But then when I go back listen to my old tapes, and I be like, oh, there's a third verse. And I'm so used to how music is made now, where it's like verse, hook, verse. Is down listen to my old shit, and there's sometimes I want to cut it off because I'm thinking that there won't be another verse. I'm like, oh, another verse.
Hmm.
You think that kind of like fucks it up though, like there's no more third verses, or you think it's cool that we just doing hook verse.
Well, I think that, it's up to the structure of the artist. Like, so I've done songs that it be unconventional. And that's the reason why a lot of labels will say, okay, we like that, but we got to change this because you're not in the structure.
Yeah.
So a lot of the shit that we hear is in format structure.
Mhm.
And a lot of the time they'll call us underground artists because we're not in structure.
Yeah, because we don't really believe in structures like that. We just mostly just get like me. I'm always verse first, then hook, because verses are my strengths. I'm not really a hook person. I mean, because it's like I'm alright, but it's like I'm mostly intricate when it comes down to I'm technical with the verses. It's just the hook part. But it's cool, but it's like it's not my strong point.
Well, that's like an NBA player. You go into the gym and you work on that shot,
Yeah,
certain on the floor, or you work on those certain skill sets, and then you come back again,
yeah.
and you can get other people that write hooks, or you could.
And see, that's what I was thinking of doing, but you might lose points on it. You can't be like, I'm gonna hire someone. You know how people have ghost writers? You have like a hook writer, like, okay, dog, I'm gonna pay you to write this hook. And people like, you pay this dude to write this hook? But then
Yeah.
then it's be like, nah, you're supposed to write your own hooks. But then sometimes I do like the cheat thing where I'll just write the verse and then like the first few bars of my first verse, I'll just repeat it. And that works. But it
Yeah.
works because I'll be able to read. If I were to do a show, I remember the first part of the verse.
Well, like this, as far as a call out song
Mhm.
that can work. What we hear a lot right now are call out type of songs. So, the days of a Wu Tang type of track where everybody's just on the track and
Mhm.
there's no fucking hook
Mhm.
and everybody's going in. We
Mhm.
kind of get that, but we don't see that much,
Yeah, it's like
right?
one big old recorded cipher.
Right.
Mm.
And
It
that's
does.
that's taking it back to another time of the boom bap era. Like
Mhm.
you're saying, I like to call it the golden era because like it's a certain time frame and music just hasn't been the same as far as that.
Yeah.
But you were talking about bringing it back as far as like boom bap. Do you still feel like you would stay kind of towards a trap level or a, let's call it, hip hop level?
I mean, there's times since I make my own beats, I'll just do a hybrid of both. and just blend together. Like I have a song called Spider Sense, where shout out to Ruckus Collective because they always have dope samples and drum broke and all that. And I heard this sample, like a little kitty sample, was called Spider something, like some kitty shit. I was gonna normally add some raw boom bappy drums to it, so I was like, you know what? Let me add some trap shit to it. It was like very simple, and I just started spitting to it. So as long as it's like a hybrid of both, then it's cool. But one fan told me, and this what gave me like an idea of the sound. He's like, bro, you sound dope over jazzy, boom bappy, dark beats. And I notice I always seem to always that catches my ear. It doesn't matter if it's trap, boom bap. It was like a dark jazzy beat. That shit catches my ear every time. And only on occasions I'll be like, all right, let me get on some pop shit. But
Right.
jazzy, dark, boom bappy shit, I fuck with that. As it matters boom bappy, as long as it's like dark or something. But as long as I can come up with a hybrid of both, because I'm aware. Because I'm not gonna lie to you if I told you, I would be lying if I told you I didn't fuck with some of the trap shit. Like I would lie to you, I'll tell you I didn't like Travis Scott. He ain't lyrical, but it's for another purpose.
I like probably one song he's done. Like to me, he he alright, but he's not. I rather listen to Bryson Tiller than Travis
Bryson
Scott.
Bryson Teller's cool. It's funny he doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
That's real
Bryson,
shit.
the real talk. And my wife put me up onto him. He doesn't get no respect for what he does, and that's the fucked up thing about it. Is like I was watching this thing about Charles Hamilton, and it's fucked up how he's how people treated him because he used to be the one that used to. Because I remember watching him. He was the one that inspired me to be super consistent. This fool dropped mixtapes left and fucking right. I'm like, this dude is fucking crazy. But it's funny, like we were discussing, like how when you have artists who just like most artists ain't meant to blow up like that. Like we live in an era now where people are kind of forcing that shit. Like everyone's meant to blow up. It's like not everyone's meant to blow up, and at the same time, it's like that shit is just stupid. It's like because once you get into that spot, it's like what's the point? Because if I was rich and I blew up, I'd be bored. I like most of these cats who are mainstream. They wish sometimes they be thinking like, damn, I wish I was still underground because they can't do everything how we can do everything. They wish they can do. I'd rather like stay underground and keep my freedom.
Have a happy medium of being able to do what you want to do and still be able to
Yeah,
make some.
yeah. As long as it's like yeah, that's another thing. Find the balance. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's the thing. If I can find a balance in that, shit, you good to go.
But I think a lot of artists are searching for that balance as
Mm,
far as and producers.
mm,
A lot of producers, and I'm looking at the game right now, and it's kind of crazy because you look up, you see one artist that has all these hits,
mm,
but maybe have like 2 likes, 3 likes, 4 likes on the post.
mm.
So then you look deeper into it, and you're like, okay, well, did they hire a bot or some shit like that?
And
It
I'm telling you straight, all these motherfuckers pay for their streams, even in the underground. I see motherfuckers have like 2K followers. They pay for that shit. Like that's why I don't really take these streams or any of these numbers seriously or this fame shit seriously. You can buy fame literally, and when
right,
they call it social proof. So if you sit there, if I'm buying 2K followers, and I'm buying all of this shit, people would think, oh, he's the shit. He's because of the numbers, and that's the
right,
shit that I think is just killing it. Because you got artists like me. I'll be honest with you, only got 17 monthly listeners, man, and 28 followers. But because my music is dope, but the only issue is because the marketing and all that shit. I'm just gonna try to do music videos and all that. But they see the numbers and be like, I can't fuck with you because your numbers are small. Like I know of a dude who does dope ass fucking music videos, but because he had 350 followers. Oh, I can't touch him. He had 350, but he's more talented than a fucking music video person. I mean, a person that makes music videos that has over 2K.
True. I feel you.
So yeah, I mean that's the issue I have with today's game. Period. They care about numbers. That's why I always say it's like high school. I care about the status and shit. It's like and I always say this: before it was business, it was a culture first. Hip hop was a culture first before it was a
Right.
business. And it seems to me, people forgetting is a culture. Now it's all about the business, and
True.
that's
Then they get upset. They get upset when they want the artist to be able to deal with business, but they're artists. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You
You don't
hire
have
people for that.
to do shit that they're not trying to do. But
No.
then it makes the artist have to learn all this other shit, promotion, marketing, all this other shit that they don't do.
Hmm. That's why it needs to
They're
be a
not
specific person to do that shit. Because when you underground, you don't have a team. You know what I mean?
right.
Like we don't have the luxury of having a dad, a father that works at Def Jam, or a sister that works at a radio station that's huge like that. Like I got friends who got connects like that, and some of these dudes they don't want to share that juice. You know, that's
Mm,
another thing I don't like. Like as underground artists, you're in the same boat. Like you're supposed to be building up. You got cats
right.
that be, so on they juice that they be like, nah, they be just watching and shit, seeing if you blow up, and they be like, oh, they want to do the collab. That shit really kills me because I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'll be a fucking asshole. So all
I
my
feel you.
friends, my homies who
Me.
rap be like, yo, man, don't they just be looking, and then if I ask them for a feature, nah, dog, I'm good. They not getting the sound. But if I were to blow up and get the numbers up, hitting me up, let's do a song. I'm like, who the fuck are you again?
Right.
Straight up, who the fuck are you? Because I don't play that like me like I say that's what they always say like just that's why that is like some of these cats just be just they look them numbers and they be fake. You pay for those numbers, and
Right.
then that shit gonna react on your and even with streams. You got fools who literally like I don't know what distribution that they use. You got cats that will literally like for example okay, my favorite regular artist is Beanie Man. There's
Mm-hmm.
a rapper
Oh,
named Beanie
look,
Man,
what?
and what they'll do is because his name is Beanie Man, he's taking his fans because
Right.
he got the same name.
Yo, straight up,
Hmm.
I have that problem.
Hmm.
So I've had motherfuckers trying to sit there. I've established myself since '99
Hmm.
at Samson.
Hmm.
So then, as I've gone along through this whole journey of hip hop, um, releasing music on CDs, I've watched the whole shit come together. I've watched motherfuckers take it apart.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So, um, as far as regular rap, as far as battle rap,
Hmm.
I've been in all these parts of the scene,
Hmm.
and you're right. It's that's what motherfuckers do.
Yeah,
They
because
they'll take your shit, and then they'll take that and try to keep rolling with it. So shout out to this fool and this other dude in Inglewood that I'm gonna have to touch down and see him in a face-to-face battle if he want to catch it, or he could just change his name up a little bit because he's a youngster that came into the game.
yeah.
But anybody that kind of has my shit, I'm like Little Walter. I want to battle you. I want to go. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you seen Cadillac Record.
Yeah. That's because
Mm-hmm.
cats ain't got no originality. They that's how motherfuckers do it for the numbers, but it's not about numbers, man. It's about the culture. To
And it's
do
about the quality of
and
what you put out. Like if you
hmm
got that feeling and that love in what you're doing, you
yeah,
know.
and it'll show in the music, man. It'll show. You can tell motherfuckers put love in the shit. You can tell when cats are just following trends. You know what I mean? Those are the cats who they can't even be themselves. So, I'm never really the flashy type of dude anyway. So,
Right.
just gotta just stay true to the culture and what is, let it do what it do.
Well, it's a thing of finding the balance in between the business and staying true to that.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people that can really do that, and it's good. There's some people that really haven't, and that, you
Yeah,
know, all that we got to work on everything. Everybody got to work on something.
yeah,
So
yeah. But
it's
not,
all
yeah, because not everybody good at everything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
but,
just find your lane. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Your
But
lane.
if you producing something real good like that, you might be the hook man. You might be the motherfucker that can write the hooks and shit.
Hmm.
So you end up forming a group like 3 6 Mafia, and you all have different parts that you play.
Yeah. So I was trying to form a group. Well, I try to form a group, but sometimes, like me and homie Venomous, we have a group. Our homeboy, he's part of our little group, but it's like our work ethic is let's go, 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 go. He's like, when he wants, this wasn't dropped a mixtape since like 2010. We over here on go mode. I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? But that's the homie. But it's like, you don't want to try to cut like the leg off, but then when
Yeah,
someone's covering, someone's not, in the like someone's in the group, they're not really, moving how you're moving.
yeah, bro. I feel you.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, hey, what can I say, man? That's how groups are. You gotta find people that kind of have that same ambition. Because the
Right.
homie was kind of tell me, he was like, "Yo, we was watching underground hip hop blog. Where everyone is out, where everyone be on underground hip hop blog." And then we was like, "Yo, we gonna be on there, or Sess Crew and all them." I'm like, "All right, we'll see." But
Yeah.
doing shows is gonna be hard though, because people
I
still,
fuck with underground hip hop. They
huh?
fuck with us.
Oh, that's
The
what's up.
underground hip hop fuck with us. I fuck with them. They fucked with me as an artist before. You know what I mean? So they've been with it as I've
Yeah,
been.
and they in LA too. I
Yeah.
noticed that. So, LA blogs I got to find more LA blogs. I know a few. I'm gonna try to get mine up on. The thing is, I
Shout
put
out
out.
in
Yeah,
LA.
shout out to 'em. I
Yeah.
just put out so much music that now I'll be like, damn, what song should I send to these blogs? What song should I send? So I just send out random songs.
Right.
But, it's the show's gonna be kind of hard though, because now since everything's open, I ain't got like a strong fan base. So I'm still trying to figure that shit out. I might just do these live shows because that'd be more easier for me, because I'd be like, okay, we just try to set up shit and do like these little live shows, even though we're not
Well,
really quarantined.
yeah. I give you another piece of advice. Anywhere you go when you do a show, because we have the internet now, right? You'll be
Yeah,
able to record that show,
mm,
and still there's somebody in another state that wants to see that show.
yeah,
So they will want to see you upload it, and they have a way to see it because they can't come to Cali and see you get
yeah,
down for real. You know?
yeah.
So
Kind of this one
that's
chick
the
from Atlanta. She liked the song "Feel New." She was like, "Man, when I'm gonna come over to LA and I mean, well, you in Atlanta, but with the internet. But trust me, with advanced technology, it might be a way we can just do a show from your home. I mean,
oh,
already
it is
doing, yeah, we're already doing it now, but bet it's gonna be like little apps that's gonna with
right.
technology is more convenient. Like never thought
Even
like with
even right now, you can.
even
That's
now.
that's, that's in. We in that situation right now. Where everything is gotten to that point as far as technology. So
Yeah.
where do you
Yeah.
think, as far as technology goes, the advancement of music is gonna go?
I hope it don't be on no fucking AI shit. You know what I mean? Like you got this thing where you got motherfuckers typing in like words and shit of other rappers' voices and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it don't be on that shit. And that shit scares me, because it's now you have robots trying to, that shit scares me. But I hope it be more in a way where how we have online distributions, we can either have it where we can send our songs, like even on DistroKey, you can actually fucking send songs to a label. I've never done it because I'm independent, so I don't send my songs to no labels.
Right.
But you know, now that's happening, and then there's going to be a point where you're going to see you visit the blogs. I mean, some of these distributions are already doing it. So now it's going to be no need for no more labels. That's what I don't get why rappers are signing themselves. I mean, are signing labels. Do it yourself. You know.
Well, it's because, like you said, right?
Mhm.
That label has a structure and a team in place to do all the things that you don't want to do as an
Yeah.
artist. That promotion, that talking to whoever you need to talk to get your video shot, all this other shit. All the other stuff is what goes into play. So even if you are independent, like I've seen independent labels be real successful, like Tech Nine's Strange Music,
Yeah.
uh, Sick Witted Records,
Yeah.
a lot of Rap a Lot. Rap a Lot was independent. When they
Yeah.
started, and then they did their thing. Master P was independent.
No limit. Like, and the quality they pull out was amazing. Like every day, come out with an album. I think if I do go back to sign to a label, it'll be just a distribution. That's it. Just a distribution. Because I was signed to a label before that shit. I mean, I learned the business real quick at 26. Like after it was on some BS, like after that little situation, I learned that like, hey, it's good as get a distribution deal. You know what I mean? Just have the label just push your shit out there. And
Right.
if you got like online distributions, that's cool. But if I want to take my shit otherwhere, it will always be. And I made a promise myself, I don't ever sign to a label distribution, because then I have
Right.
complete control from my shit. Label just do its job.
Well, the main thing is to get the publishing.
In the
A
publishing.
lot of people don't understand that part, and I'm gonna drop these jewels right now during this show. Like, you got to get your publishing intact as far as signing up for BMI or ASCAP.
Yeah.
Uh, you're in fucking Canada, those other places. If you, whatever,
Mm.
wherever you are, you got to sign up for the performance rights and get your performance.
Yeah, and that's if you selling like high numbers like that.
Well, even if you ain't though, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like, as long as you have your publishing,
Mm-hmm.
you can take that song, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
somebody could say, hey, I like that song. Let me redo that again. And that's a song that you did in 2002.
And you
And that's
still
what
get
we
money
see
off of that.
happening,
Mm-hmm.
So then, we see now these artists will get a little extra money because they're using or reusing the song again
Yeah.
as far as publishing. Like, for example, like Drake used Lauryn Hill
Oh
song,
yeah, she got a check for that. She got a
kind of,
huge check for that
because
shit.
she can totally write everything on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference, right? She kind of did, but she kind of didn't. And I don't know if you found that shit out. Like, that album had, like, she had a team of writers.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it felt like, and she said that she came up with all this and that, it really came out that she did.
Oh.
Hurt my heart because I was like, damn, man,
No,
I
she didn't
feel,
write that shit. She had someone
yeah,
write. Yeah, see,
yeah,
that's it's real. It's really sad when you think someone writes their own shit, and then come to find out, oh, they didn't write their own shit. Like the whole what's that? Still Dre shit. I know
yeah.
Dr. Dre don't write his own shit,
Mm-hmm.
but when I found out that Jay-Z did both Snoop and Dre's part, I was like, Snoop's part? Because he never, even on Doggy Style, he didn't even write nothing. He just freestyled the shit. So I'm like, that's why I don't understand. Like when some artists they be like, you wrote half your other albums you wrote, but then all of a sudden you hiring writers. I never
Well,
understood that shit.
let's look at it from a business standpoint, right?
Hmm.
Let's look at it from, let's just think about it this way. Let's say that I got you on a label
Hmm.
and you're a new writer.
Hmm.
And I think that I want to make you pop, right?
Hmm.
So this is the different way that I would do it. I would get you and I would say, okay, look, we got Kendrick over here.
Hmm.
He needs this kind of song. He said he wants this, So let's give him this. And then you come up with whatever you come up with and you give him the song.
Mm.
Then that helps you to grow as a writer,
Mm.
right? And to be solidified as a published writer.
Mm.
Like I was talking about, we got to get our publishing, right?
Yeah.
So he did it. Jay-Z did it as a business deal because he knew putting a song together for Snoop and Dre at that time,
Yeah.
it was a great publishing deal for him to do because he was going to capitalize off.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, like, like they kind of lost. They wasn't winning anything by putting him on there
Mm-hmm.
and him writing it. They didn't give nobody no extra shot because they said, yo, we're going to get somebody that's already established and he's going to write it. So it's not the same example that like I use. Like I would use somebody that isn't an established writer, but is a good, promising writer on somebody's established artist record.
Yeah.
So it's all about business and how you deal with it.
Yeah, because my mom was telling me about that. Like, it's always in the writing. So So like, once I get everything going, I could just do that. Just get the BMIs. But the thing about me, I put out so much music. I was thinking about just deleting all my music and then just all this. But then again, I can't because, people fuck with it. Because once I get the BMIs and all that shit together, then I'm about to start looking at things a little bit differently.
Right. Well, it's not too hard to do that. Like you can do that in a night. Like just go on there to BMI, just register as a writer, and you start cataloging your songs then,
Yes.
And then you get performance rights if you're performing it live. So say you did a live show from your spot, you'll get performance rights. You'll get something, you know what I mean? And it's recognized a little differently. You got numbers and you have like each song is cataloged. So tedious part about it is doing all the clerical work where you type in all the information.
Yeah, and all them songs that I got on my on Spotify, shit, that's a lot of clerical work. But
right.
So
it's going back and just saying, you know what, it's how simple it is. You ask your artist, the name of the song, who split the song with you, and that's it. And you just type in all that shit. It's not like you type in your lyrics. You type in song titles. You type in who does the song with you or how the split is. If you ain't splitting the song with nobody, you get 200%. So
yeah, I'm hop on that once I get the money up. Yeah.
The good part about BMI is free. ASCAP is $50 to start.
So BMI's free. You just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm
And if you wanted to have a publishing company through BMI, you could do that, or you can have a publishing company through ASCAP. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. Make sure that you get the publishing. And as far as being on the label, if you were on the label and you recorded music and they still have that music and still there, you can re-record that music and it's yours. You own the master.
Cool.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that BMI shit so it's free because I got like a lot of fucking music I got to do, and plus I already got the splits. That's the distro kid because you can split, it's like splits. That's the cool thing. So, but some people say just in case you perform it, stuff like that. So I said, all right, bet. So I'm gonna get on the BMI thing when I get the money up. I heard also on DistroKid, you can also, split money. Let's say, for example, if I had someone doing like a music video, I could split with them. So that's why I call DistroKid because always some new shit. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You thinking about shooting any music videos, or have you shot any music videos already?
I have a few, but they're like on my phone. Like top of the tub. I mean, they're not on my phone. They're on YouTube, but they're a shot on my phone. I have a music video for the song called Maverick. old song, and some other song. It was always like on my cell phone. So I'm trying to get some professional shit.
But, there's a lot of different apps and different ways to do shit with this technology. So it's just about finding what works for you and what you have. We have a multi-tool right here.
Yeah,
All this, so it's
yeah.
just making all that shit work.
I just wanted to try to shoot out with a with someone to shoot the video. So I got to be snow over there recording on my phone. I mean, I don't think I
Right,
would do is just record like the behind the scenes shit, you know.
right,
So he
right.
can like this person would do it. No, that guy do is just do my thing. So
Yeah,
being
you definitely need a shooter to get some shots.
yeah, he get like the best shots. I mean, I can take pictures with this phone because it's an iPhone, so I can take those clear pictures. It's just shooting the video part.
Right,
You know? So I'll get it all together though. I know.
right on. Okay. I know some shit about that. I'll let you about that on the flip side.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
some tips.
BMI is free, huh? So I got like a lot of songs I gotta register though. But
Yeah, I
think
feel you. Not all my songs ain't registered in BMI.
oh
Like the mixtape songs, I didn't register mixtape songs, right?
oh yeah.
But what I'll do is songs that are album songs or shit that I put out that is my shit totally.
Mm-hmm.
I register that.
Mm-hmm.
I registered all my beats.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is make sure you register the beats.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other thing. Because as a songwriter, the beat writer,
Mm-hmm.
because if you make a beat, you're writing a song.
Yeah.
So that's also part of your publishing. That's why I said 200%.
Yeah.
Because you got the beat, that's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You got the writing side, which is another 100.
Yeah.
So if you wrote 100% of the song, and you made 100% of the beat,
Mm-hmm.
200% is
Yeah.
yours on the of that song.
Yeah.
That song belongs to you on that level.
Yeah, because I use samples from Drum Broker, and shout out to the Records Collective. So they have this thing in their release where like if it's like let's say minor releases, they're not big, they're like minor, then it's cool, do what you want. But if that mess exceeds 5,000 or 5,000,000, what I promise you I won't get like no 5,000,000. You gotta be signed to a label to get like 5,000,000.
Nah, bro, you might remember the dude that sat there. Lil Nas X bought that damn beat from dude for $30.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that could happen though. So yeah.
You know,
Man, you hop
so
on it because you never know. I might wake up the next morning and bam, 5,000, 5K. I'm like, shit.
right.
Never know. So no slacking.
I look up and sometimes when I look at some of these, um, some hits, like don't get discouraged because you might have uh 28 people on one page as far as your solid listeners and fan
Mhm.
base because your Apple Music might say something different.
Yeah.
Um, all these different platforms where you are at say something different,
Hmm.
so it's always something else. In
Yeah.
Germany, we get played across all kind of places. So
Mhm.
even if we got like 10 listeners right now in America, in other places, it still gets played because hip hop is universal and we've
Yeah.
made hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they want to look at what we're going to do as far as being the culture's guardians of the culture and the innovators of the culture.
Yeah. Because hip hop is like as big or bigger than the rock right now. So
Definitely.
everybody's taking it like they own it. So I never had a song called "Not in My League," old ass song. That shit had like 125 streams from Germany. I did that shit 3 years ago. I'm like, how the? Because I'm thinking in my mind like, what the fuck about that song? I'm just talking shit, and
Right.
they was just liking it. I don't know what it is. And then I remember one time Australia for me because one rapper from Australia hits me up. They DM'd me. They quoted one of my songs like, "Yo, we really fuck with your shit." And sometimes I'd be shocked because I'm not really aware. I'm not putting music out there. I'm not aware who's liking it. because no one, because you know people support from afar, they don't really tell you. And so
Right.
there'll be sometimes it'll come up like, yo, I heard your fucking album, dog. And then sometimes people say this shit. They say as independent artists, we shouldn't even put out albums. We should just put out singles and EPs.
Hmm.
So I'll be thinking to myself like, shit, I want to put out an album. But it's like, no, because no one doesn't know you. But it's like, it's kind of weird because I got people that will hit me up and say, I like your album, not your single. You know what I mean? And so I'm
Right.
thinking like, that's weird because I guess that's why I'm always dropping singles, EPs, and albums because there's three different people. There's the album people because I believe there are people who don't even care that you're an independent artist. That will actually listen to your whole album. They don't even care. They don't even that you're not on the Billboard charts or nothing. They just don't
Right.
mind it like that. That's why I try to cater to everybody,
Right.
but not
I mean,
like
that's how we found your shit. Like, like just skimming through different music, different artists, and wanting to see somebody fresh. So yeah, we've been fucking with you for a minute, and my boy was like, "Yo, hey, check him out." I was like, "All right, let me check him out." Then, I've been fucking with it for a minute.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that was the whole strategy because think about it, like people press that what's that miss that randomize button on Spotify. You can
Hmm.
best believe my shit is like best believe it. My shit gonna pop up. That's because it's like overflood everything. And I learned that from my mixtape days. That's how this one dude, I think his name was Mixtape Forever, and he like one of my mixtapes. I wish he didn't take this mixtape, but again, people got different ears. So what you think is whack, they might think it's dope. And he took the song. I think it's my mixtape, me and my microphone too. And he had like 2 songs on YouTube, like just promoting it for free. I'm like, oh shit, that's what made me use YouTube more because
Hmm.
I'm not really because again, I'm not aware people fuck on my shit like that until
Right.
I let me get on my YouTube shit.
Plug your YouTube. You got YouTube?
Yeah, I got
Get
YouTube.
the YouTube channel?
Mike Senze official YouTube. I'm trying to, I might do some vlogs. That's the thing about me. Like, I don't know, I might do vlogs. Some people like, yo, do the vlog shit. I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll do vlogs. I'll talk.
Well, yeah.
But, you
But I
know,
say you do stay an artist and, stay doing what you want to do
yeah,
and also do different things. Like if you feel like you need to or want to do a show. Or you could just go on different people's show and
yeah,
then that's also different promo.
yeah.
It's what
You
it's
know,
about working it out in all these different ways.
there's different ways to do. That's the beautiful thing. There's different ways to do it. Cause I know artists that don't do no show. They just do promo all day. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
6ix9ine didn't do shit. You know what I mean? He was just online just trolling people and he got to be one of the biggest motherfuckers.
that shit was weird to me. That
Big
was
rat.
that was weird. Like that was some weird shit. I'm like, for real? I'm thinking like it's just really weird because we know back in the '90s that shit wouldn't fly. That shit wouldn't fly at all back in the days. I'm like, they letting this snitch ass nigga do shows. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm
I
not
couldn't get
even.
it. I
That's
couldn't
how I
get it.
knew. That's how I knew. Like this is different. This
They
is
was
different.
letting, but they was stopping Rick Ross ass from coming to a lot of shows for a minute. Remember that?
Yeah, like I remember Trick did
Oh.
something stopped him from going to Detroit, but it's like with 6ix9ine, it's like
I
that's
don't know what happened. I don't even think he touched down over there. I don't think he did. I
yeah.
know when he went through
He came to Crenshaw. He
that's he
disrespecting it.
down with fucking security and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And so while he's sitting there inviting with beef, he's sitting there behind security,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Crazy, it's crazy.
It's like high school,
High school.
and
That's like I've been saying. This rap is like high school, bro. Like I always said, it's like high school to me. It's like the cool kids are at the top doing stupid shit.
And WWF, it's like WWF, WWE.
Storylines and all that shit. Everyone's a character. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you know,
Everyone's a
it's
character.
take the initiative to be like, okay, well, this is my character. This is what I'm bringing to this table of hip hop. This is what I bring to the house of hip hop. This is my room of hip hop.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Put this shit up on the wall. You feel me?
yeah,
Like so. That's what it is. You
yeah. I
know.
think like I
That's
look
how
at
you
hip
get to do.
hop as one big wall, man. Everybody, I like graffiti, so
Right.
just paint your name on the wall. That's all it is.
Are you a writer from a while back or
Oh
what?
hell yeah! All right. So I got like a little art pad that I just draw graffiti on. I never like did it on the wall. I think I did it one time back in the day. We like in an abandoned house. You know how we had like the houses, they're not open in it. So I remember I just write on the wall. It's like that, like you're just wrapping abandoned houses and shit. But I still
Hmm.
write, graffiti.
Right on.
No, I just
That's what's up.
yeah. I'm a
We're
probably
supposed to
take
have some. We're supposed to have some graph battles going on too with the flip the switch
oh,
situation.
that'd be cool, man. Haven't
That's
seen those in a long time.
all different shit. We trying to do some different shit. You know.
Yeah,
So like I said, all the elements of hip hop, we bringing it together. So um salute to the peoples. My homegirl Dove at Flip the Switch.
mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we got the Lyrical Arts Radio battles that we do here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a different structure than what Flip the Switch is going to be. But it all merges together because we are making it to where it's all interleague type of thing. We ain't. I'm not going to limit anybody. Like, say you in another league, you want to come over here, you want to battle somebody. Say you want to battle Mike, you want to come from another league and battle, and Mike says, "Yo, okay, I will battle you. I'll battle you on that league." You know what I mean? This is a neutral ground. You know what I mean? To be able to do that, or just to be able to come to the platform and talk. You
Yeah.
know, say you got something that you want to say. You know, as
Mm-hmm.
far as being an artist or producer, or just anything with anything in the entertainment, you can
Yeah.
come through and say so. So
That's what's up.
I
Gotta keep the culture
appreciate you
alive,
for coming
man.
through, like
Yeah.
real shit. Appreciate you for tapping in with me,
No problem, man. Cause you been trying to like get it to like we've been busy. Cause I've been like doing all this.
Yeah, man.
Gotta tap in with the homie.
I
Gotta
know you've
do
been
it.
busy doing bars and shit, living family life, Hey, I feel you, me too, bro. Hey, that is
Mhm.
definite priority.
Yeah, but I'm
Definite.
gonna still do the music thing. I got friends of mine that got 4 kids and still doing shows. I'm like, how the hell you do that shit? Like, how do you do that shit? But the thing is, my
Thing.
wife is cool. I remember I asked my wife like a question. I said, "Hey, what if I had a show in Atlanta? Would you let me go to Atlanta?" She said, "Yeah." So my wife, she's a poor. She's not a yes person. She's not gonna think all my. That's what I love about my wife. Like I literally listen to my shit in her car. She'll tell me that ain't it. That's not it. I ain't liking that. Try this. You know,
Mm,
she more truthful than most dudes. Most dudes like that shit dope. And then I know
right.
in my heart like I don't seem dope, but my wife, she known I've been rapping for the longest, so she listened to. I remember she said she listened to all my old mixtapes from back in the days. And so I said, yeah, that's cool. I got the right one, so she'll let me.
It's always about elevation. So as long as you getting past the mixtape stage, elevating to the artist stage,
Mm-hmm.
to where you're going higher in production, and you know you bring good, you bring what you want to bring, what you feel is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to, bro.
Hey, bro, I got this one song. It's called Shaggy and Scooby. Basically, it's just a weed song where I'm talking about having like smoking weed with Shaggy and Scooby. I'm not done with it yet, but that's what I'm working on. Like I don't smoke weed, but it's some dope shit.
Right on. I smoke
But
weed. So shout out to my
that's
sponsor.
for you. So that's for you. The song is for you.
Shout
It's on
out to
some
my
psychedelic,
weed.
like on some psychedelic 70s shit. So that's for you. You ain't
Word.
gotta, like you ain't gotta make like most people that do club songs don't go to the clubs. They just do it for the vibe. You ain't gotta.
Right. We in the studio making the music, and then they out there in the club. We know.
Yeah, like you ain't gotta, smoke weed to make weed music. But sometimes,
Right.
like, but neighbors be. I remember one time I smoked weed, and I mean, for the first time, and I recorded. I wrote like, and usually I'm always writing. And I was like, just, just writing like crazy shit, and then I just recorded it. I was like, and you know how when you high, that makes amplifies with how you like what you listen. So I heard like every fucking little bitty detail that I wouldn't even hear if I wasn't high. I'm thinking, damn, what the fuck? I didn't know I was like this was happening. You know, that was the cool thing about that experience though. It made me listen to my music a little bit more deep, a little bit more different.
Right.
So
Have more of a detailed look
yeah,
behind it.
more detail.
Right on, man. So make sure you when you drop some shit, send me some shit.
Don't
We
worry, man. Like something,
tap
don't worry. Know that
it.
that Fuck Feelings single's coming in July. That fool with my homie Dunny G from Canada. That dude that dude killed that shit. I hate that he killed me on my own fucking song again. But that's all right.
Uh,
Like,
when the live goes up, tag your boy. You know what I'm saying? Let him know we talking.
yeah, I
But
love he like he know he that dude he's multi talented. That fool can do rock and rap. I'm like, damn, what can you do? But he like straight up raw underground rap. He don't like nothing trap or nothing.
right.
So
I mean,
he like he cool.
but
So
you know,
yeah,
you
I'm
gotta be open to listening to different music.
trust because most of my influences are not even rappers, mostly reggae artists like Shabba Ranks and Yellow Mon and Benny Mon. Like if you notice, they are rappers too, but in their own way
Right.
because they got cadences too, and that's
Right.
what I study their cadences. So so I listen to let's say Yellow Mon, right? He's laid back and chill. So I would just study his cadence. I don't understand what he's saying, but I like the way that he flows. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I think
Yeah.
everything has a cadence to it. So even a dog, even like a dog bark has a cadence. When it goes woof 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 woof, that's a cadence right there. Just put words to it.
True.
See, people don't know that. Like everything is in music.
Sure, brother.
Everything's in music.
Right
Shit.
on. But
Even
yo,
so, you out
let
here?
me get now. Yeah, let's get up on now. I'm gonna get up on out of here. You know, I'm gonna
Yes,
close.
11:48. Gotta go to sleep for work.
I feel you. You know, so,
You know what I mean?
um,
Gotta be Clark Kent tomorrow. But I'm behind
right.
that mic. I'm Superman.
What's up? But yo, everybody, make sure y'all follow Mike Senze.
hmm
Yo, what?
All right,
What's
bro.
happening?
Peace
I'm
out, later.
Samson. Right on. Lyrical Arts. Peace.
Lyrical artists.
Yo, fam. Peace, bro.
Hey,
Thank you.
brother.
Yeah, man. Mike. Make sure y'all tap in later on, man. You know. So put it up. Peace and love.